How's John Tavares?
Just a maintenance day for him today, and we'll make a decision on him for tomorrow, when tomorrow comes.
What can you tell us about who might be, resting tomorrow night?
Matthews and Marner both won't play. Jack Campbell won't play, so Shawgren will go in goal, and other lineup decisions will be made tomorrow. We'll make a decision on John and some others, and see what the lineup looks from there.
Can you give us a sense of the process to do that? Do you go to them? Do you just tell them, like, guys, you can't play, or do you ask for the feedback? How does that work?
It's I get feedback from our medical team and their thoughts, the performance team, how they feel about it. The most important thing is to have a conversation with the players, give them my perspective, get their perspective and see how they're feeling. Not so much how they're feeling about the upcoming game, but how they're feeling about their game, and their need to play one more in order to get ready, because it's really about Monday. That's really it. And had that discussion. The guys feel they're in a good place, but at the same time, Austin's situation, obviously, he's missed some time already, and going to continue to monitor and manage that. And in Mitch's case, he's played a lot of hockey for us, and nobody's at 100% at this point of the season. So, with that being the case, he could definitely benefit from a night off.
When it's a final game like that, can you treat it like the last game of the preseason, where you're like anyone who's kind of on a bubble for decision making, you're kind of maybe making a little bit more emphasis on decisions?
I think the guys who are competing for spots, every rep they get, and that includes practice reps, they're competing. We have a sense of where things are and where we'll make decisions, but some of the decisions, the players themselves that are competing will make those through their play, and tomorrow night's game will be an example of that, or an opportunity for us to assess that. And some of the decisions are made above them, in terms of our injury situations and the health of our team. So, it's just a matter of taking advantage of every rep that you get, but also knowing that, as we've shown here, we've used our depth, we've made lineup changes, and whatever decision we make for game one, we'll reassess that one after game one and go from there. Yeah, if John was here at practice today, those guys would have been together, and we'll see what the lineup looks like tomorrow. But we're looking that way here now. But again, injury situations and what our lineup ultimately looks like, it might be different, come the weekend, come Monday, in terms of the players that are available to us. Obviously, we've got Bunting, we've got Kasia, we've got all these things that do impact the lineup and will impact some of the decisions that I might make. I do think that in different ways. I think that it just gave them different line mates, gave them different looks, had them playing in different situations. So I think from that sense of it, yeah. But I don't know exactly how many minutes they've played together since they've been apart, but they have played, really pretty much parts of almost every game at some point together, and not just power play. So they haven't been too apart in that sense, but we'll look at it, make the decision based on the players we have available, based on who we're playing and what the matchups might look like. And, the reason why we did a lot of the things we did, not just related to John and Will, is to give us additional options and flexibility. So we like that we have that, and I think that the players adapted well to that. So it gives me confidence, that I can make the right decisions, or make the decisions that I believe are right based on the information that we have and what's available.
So to be clear, will Jack dress and back up?
Yes, he will. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, we still have salary cap situations and things of that nature that we have to abide by. So you can only make so many moves and so many decisions. So, it's certainly in Jack's case, he'll remain as the backup.
How about someone like Alex Kerfoot, who you use him in that first line situation, but you also mentioned at times that you like how he's been with Nylander in that spot. Where does he kind of factor into everything?
Well, I thought he did a good job in that spot the other night in Bunting's absence. I think there are some similarities in their game between Bunting and Kerfoot, and I think he's able to fill into some of those spots for that line. Obviously, when we do that, it does take away from other lines, and that's part of where I really felt the other night. When Kerfoot wasn't in that mix of in the middle six. I felt it was an issue for us, so that's why I felt the need to move Willie up in there, up with John, and have a different look that way. So, Kerfoot's an important player for us, and he's one that a lot of players want to play with. So we have to be mindful of that. We have to use him appropriately. And we have to recognize with every decision that we make, especially with every injury that we have, that it impacts our depth greatly. So we have to make sure that we manage that well, so that we of course we need Matthews and Martin, we need that line rolling, but we also need to make sure we've got some depth underneath it. Just because he's so consistent and reliable and versatile in how he plays. He forechecks, he wins the puck back, he can make a play, defensively responsible, very aware player of what's happening in the game, and he's just a good guy too. That's part of it too. He's a guy that everybody likes to be around. So for all those reasons, he's a guy that everybody wants to play with, and that's part of why you see him moving around, because different lines they have a hole, and for whatever reason, performance or injury, and you need to make a change because of that. Because of his versatility, but also because guys see him as a solution. It's an easy fix in that way. When I went to Austin and Mitch about the possibility of Kerfoot filling in there, it was absolutely let's go. So that's a lot of what I get throughout the lineup.
Once you look forward to finally nailing down your opponent in the next day or so.
Yeah. It's never easy when you're at this point in the season here, and you're going to be starting on Monday night, and you don't quite know. Of course, we're looking at there's a high probability that that it's going to be Tampa, but just Boston's right there. So we'll see what happens tonight, how that might impact it. But it's been a little bit easier in the sense that we're playing Boston tomorrow night. And as a result, we have an eye toward Boston to prepare for tomorrow night's game, and then we've played Tampa twice recently. So all those kind of things, we feel like we're preparing just fine.
It's been a long time since you've had a practice of any kind, really.
Yeah.
How did you go about kind of deciding what you wanted to accomplish today, and how do you see it play out?
I liked a lot of it, and because we hadn't practiced in a while, it was just a lot of little details offensively that we wanted to hit and make sure those were in place, get the reps, get some flow, and get the guys moving cohesively. Some of that starts to slip, when you're just playing games, and especially as you get tired and fatigued, you kind of lose those details. You try to, try to affirm them through video and stuff, but getting the reps in practice is important. So that was a priority today, but we've really kind of looked at today, and then we look at Sunday, as our 2 practice days in preparation for Monday. So there's different things that we wanted to accomplish, and we kind of planned essentially, the framework for 2 practices, and then, slotted into things we thought were more appropriate earlier on today, and then some other things that would be more appropriate once we know for certain who our opponent might be.
Lee Bunting's been on the ice, I think, every day this week. Are you encouraged by what you're hearing about him?
Yeah, I am. It's been very positive. He's gotten his work in. He stayed on for the lecture here today, and they'll continue to work with him, and don't have any official word about what his plan might be or anything like that. But we're happy that he's remained on the ice, and the sessions have been positive.